Motivation is one of the most important factors in affecting human behavior and performance. So, does that really answer what motivation is? According to a reliable source, motivation is a need or a desire that energizes behavior and directs it towards a goal. In this presentation, we'll also discuss different types of motivation theories and models that will help businesses, organization managers, as well as we'll also talk about this case study, the lack of motivation in the organization, and make recommendations and changes for the case study. Additionally, motivation involves two types of behaviors in a workplace, such as extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is something outside the person that energizes behavior, such as money, fame, and power, whereas intrinsic motivation is something within the person that energizes behavior, such as interest, curiosity, personal challenges, and improvements.
What motivates? There are many benefits involved in implementing effective motivation for an organization, such as it improves the level of efficiency in employees, leads to achievement of organizational goals, leads to the stability of the workforce, and it builds strong friendly relationships.
Furthermore, there have been many theories on motivations, and Hubbard's two-factor theory is one. In his theory of motivation, he suggests that humans have two different sets of work situations that satisfies or dissatisfies these needs. These two factors are hygiene factors and motivators, which determine human behavior work. Motivators provide job satisfaction, while hygiene factors prevent job dissatisfaction.
As a manager, you can increase motivation using the following theories and model: equity theory, expectancy theory, and job characteristics model. We'll now go into these in more depth. Equity theory. Adams' theory of equity refers to motivation that thrives from an individual's seeking fairness in the workplace. This is demonstrated in a table below, where it shows that an individual's outputs over an individual's inputs needs to equal another's outputs and their inputs. For example, an individual being rewarded less for doing identical work as a peer or co-worker may attempt to justify this by doing less work, making the situation fair in their eyes. This specific example demonstrates demotivation. However, it can also motivate individuals to do more, for they believe that a certain level of inputs, such as education, effort, and skills, earns you higher rewards and therefore encourages them to work harder and put in more effort. With equity theory, individuals may compare themselves to other co-workers or even others outside of their job or company. Common corrective actions that an individual may undertake because they believe there is inequity or unfairness include reduce their inputs or increase their outcomes, increase their inputs or reduce others' outputs, change our perception or change their perception. Are they seeing this wrong? Is that person getting what they deserve? Or leave the field? We then have expectancy theory. Expectancy theory is based on the appeal of an individual's reward. Therefore, the employee's motivation is based on how much the individual wants the reward. In the Marketing Education Review that analyzes the application of the expectancy theory, recommends that you utilize this theory by providing clear rewards which are of value to the employees, providing relevant training to ensure that employees have the required skill set for the role and to complete the job, and provide a clear understanding of how performance is linked to rewards. Why use expectancy theory? The theory explores an employee's self-interest who desires to achieve maximum satisfaction whilst minimizing dissatisfaction. By ensuring employees have a clear reward which are of value to the individual, there will be an increase in job performance. Finally, we have the job characteristics model. This originated in 1976 by Richard Hackman and Greg Oldham. This model centers on the concept that by ensuring tasks are given to employees are complex and challenging will stimulate internal motivation within the workers. There are three core components of job characteristics model. The 5 job design characteristics, crucial psychological states, and highlighting individual and work outcome of the job.
The 5 core job design characteristics. Skill variety. The wide range of tasks an employee is expected to perform. Workers feel more meaningful in jobs that require several different skills and abilities compared to jobs that are elementary and routine. Task identity. The predicted or visible outcome of the job. Workers feel more meaningful if they are involved in the full process. Task significance. The impact a job has on the everyday lives of other people. Workers feel more meaningful if it helps improve the psychological or well-being of others. Autonomy. The degree of freedom and independence the job provides the employee, and feedback. The workers are provided clear, specific, actionable information on their job performance. There are no ideal combination of these characteristics. However, different jobs require different characteristics to a greater or lesser extent. The job characteristics should be adjusted to attune to the overall job with the worker performing it. NPS is the motivating potential score that is used to estimate the overall motivation in the job design based on skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. Several crucial psychological states are experience, meaningfulness of their work, experience, responsibilities for the outcome of their work, and knowledge of the actual result of their work activities. And it highlights individual work outcome of the job by high internal motivation, high quality of work, high satisfaction, and low abstinence and turnovers. Sterling Cooper's fundraising consultant are a talent marketing organization offering not-for-profit organizations with aid in achieving fundraising goals. They employ over 400 employees, locals from Sydney where the company is based, and permanently assign them to one of 5 specific departments within the call centers. The 5 departments are supporter, database building, database maintenance, core department, quality auditors, and client reporting and statistics. Supporter database building is responsible for identifying potential donors, database maintenance, updates, database ensuring people on the do not call list are removed. The call department consists of callers, makes the phone calls to the potential donors seeking funds, quality auditors randomly select calls to listen to for quality control, and client reporting and statistics compiles data and clients report for the organization. Though employee surveys over the last 5 years, the organization has experienced a decline in job satisfaction and motivation, seen in the declining rate of fundraising dollar earned. By applying the equity theory, expectancy theory, and job characteristics model, these issues will be outlined and addressed with specific strategies to alleviate them. When analyzing the case studies, there are several factors relating to equity theory that are adversely affecting motivation. The first issue that can be identified is that the monthly metric of their employees are not published. In relation to the core department, equity theory states that employees compare their work input and subsequent output in order to determine fairness within the workplace, which influence their motivation. Without being able to gauge their performance to others and the pay others receive to determine fairness, they are unlikely to be motivated. It would be suggested that the organization publishes the monthly metrics of all callers and thus the employees will be more motivated as they will perceive fairness and equity within the workplace. The second issue is the mandatory 2-hour out-of-shift training that lowest 10% of employees of each month are required to attend. Irrespective of past performance, this is detrimental to employees' motivation, particularly as negative reinforcement leads to negative results, according to John Stacey Adams' equity theory. It is recommended that Sterling Cooper fundraising consultant abolish these negative reinforcement. Instead, the company should hold consultants between team leaders and the lowest performers of the month. This instead would encourage employees rather than punish them. This combined with the publishing of monthly performance would lead to improved motivation within the core department. When analyzing the case studies, there are several factors relating to the expectancy models that are adversely affecting motivation. The first issue can be identified as there are no clear rewards to provide value to an employee. Regardless of how an employee performs, there is no clear benefits for all the hard work. Without a clear reward based on their performance, this can lead to a decrease in satisfaction and motivation. It is suggested that the organization provide either an intrinsic or extrinsic rewards for employees that meet performance metrics based on a month-to-month basis. This reward system can push employees to perform at their maximum capacity as they are praised on the results. While top performing employees can benefit from this, poor performing employees can see this as a motivator as they want the rewards and benefits that the others are receiving. When analyzing the case studies, there are several factors relating to the job characteristics model that are adversely affecting motivation. The first issue can be identified as there is no job variety in the employee role as Sterling Cooper's fundraising consultant. In order to reduce cost in training and ensure uniform standard of service, Sterling Cooper Fundraising assigned employees to specific departments within the call center. Without job variety, employees can begin to feel limited and held back on their capabilities. As employees are repeating the same tasks for the same amount of time every week, they will become unmotivated to provide their best for the organization. It is suggested that Sterling Cooper's fundraising consultant allows for employees to rotate around their different roles within the organization. While employees may need to be trained in different roles, employees will become more motivated at their job as they will need to perform a wider range of activities rather than a continuous routine daily. Employees at Sterling Cooper's fundraising consultant lack autonomy in their workplace. Employees are expected to follow the same work plan every week. This limits them in what they want to do. Due to all employees following the same schedule every week, employees will find that every week is the same as the last and there is nothing new to look forward to. This will not only make the employee feel unmotivated, but will also make the employee feel unsatisfied with their job. It is recommended that the organization allows for a rotating schedule where employees work different hours every week. This will change up the pace and give the employees something to look forward to. However, it is also suggested that the organization allows for the employees to choose the station they work at. Sterling Cooper's fundraising consultant doesn't provide their employees with feedback on the performance metrics. However, all performance metrics can be viewed only by the team leader. This can negatively impact the employee's performance and satisfaction over time. Due to employees not being able to view their own metrics, they aren't able to improve the quality of service, but rather be punished upon it. It is recommended that the organization allows for the employees to view their own performance metrics in order to know which area they can improve in. The metrics can improve the overall quality of service as they can target key weaknesses in their performance.
What motivates someone is unique to each and every individual. As a manager, one can adapt different theories and models such as the ones explained today to help improve the way that you approach your employees and co-workers. Think, am I motivating them? Are they a poor worker?